Yeah. Hello, friends. Very good evening to you all. So we'll just wait for about half a minute more and we'll start our session for today. Many of us must have been busy with Dr. Newton's birthday celebrations. And last week we celebrated the wonderful festival of Diwali. So when we were contemplating what topic to take, and Diwali was just happening, so the best topic at that time, what came to my mind was light. Yeah, so the topic for today that we will ponder on, we will listen, we will contemplate, and we'll do a little bit of meditation on this beautiful topic on light. And what better than to, really look at the light within. So when we were, I was preparing for this, the light within, there is a lot which is present in the writings of the Upanishads, right? So uh, we will have a look at what is there in the Upanishads regarding the lights. If you all can, just close your video screens, and just give a thumbs up if all it's audible, everything is audible. Yeah. So, so let us look at some of the excerpts from the Upanishads. Now, what exactly is an Upanishad? Hmm? If you all could, what is an Upanishad? Upa means near, ni means down, and shad means to sit. So, what does Upanishad actually mean? It means sitting near a guru, sitting down near a guru, near a teacher, while we listen to the spiritual knowing which is called as Guru Mukh. So here is a beautiful picture which shows that how a guru is sharing his teachings. A guru is sharing his teachings with the disciples. So sitting down near, referring to the student sitting down or near the teacher while receiving the spiritual knowledge. There's a beautiful line which is written in the Chandogya Upanishad that there is a light that shines beyond the world, beyond everything, beyond all, beyond the highest heaven. This is the light that shines within your heart. If we go through this line word by word, there is a light that shines beyond the world, beyond everything, beyond the highest heaven. But what is this light? It is nowhere else, but it is the light that shines within our heart. If you could just take a moment and just feel within, what is written in the Chandogya Upanishad. There's a lot which is written in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the light of the lights. And what does Brihadaranyaka literally mean? It literally means the great wilderness of the forest. It's so beautiful that in a forest, one can enter into a forest and actually get lost if we don't have a guide to guide us who knows the way through the forest. We can get lost. And this Upanishad is credited to sage Yagnavalkya. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it starts with its first chapter, which with a very renowned prayer. Okay, it is called as Pavan Mana Abhyaroha. Pavamana Abhyaroha, meaning thereby an elevated chant. We all must be aware of this beautiful chant which is there, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. That is Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyoti Gamaya, Mrityo Ma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So what does this chant actually mean? It means lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to the light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. We cannot thank our masters enough, Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi, who are actually the light givers to our soul. And the Upanishad is indeed a forest of wisdom. And there are two paths through this forest, each attaining different goals. What are the two things that can happen if we go through this forest of wisdom? Either we can attain a rebirth experience into this world, or we can have a liberation from this material bound consciousness. So, but if we have a guru, a master who can guide us with his light through this forest of wisdom, we are sure where we are going and what experience we wish to experience. So I want to thank Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi. They are the true light givers to our soul. And whenever they speak and we are sitting down, it is indeed like we are listening to the Upanishads. So thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in one of the chapters, there is a conversation between Rishi Yagnavalkya and King Janaka. Now, sage Yagnavalkya is a Hindu Vedic sage. He is featured in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and he always proposes and debates about metaphysical questions about the nature of existence, consciousness, and impermanence. He expounds this doctrine of neti neti, not this, not this. Hmm? And King Janaka, we all know about King Janaka. He used to hold these spiritual congregations in the auspicious presence of sage Yagnavalkya. They used to have these spiritual debates, and Rishi Yagnavalkya used to be very impressed with King Janaka always. So there have been many occasions when Yagnavalkya and King Janak have met with each other and discussed at length about things related to the Brahman and about the knowledge of the self. So King Janak was very fond of Yagnavalkya, and whenever he had a chance to meet him, he would keep asking him several questions for which he himself had no complete answer. And King Yagna and Sage Yagnavalkya also would not receive any gift from King Janak till he had not answered any all of the questions, till he had given him his complete knowledge. So once Sage Yagnavalkya was very touched by King Janaka, and he told him that you asked for a boon. King Janak said, may I be permitted to ask questions whenever I please, whenever I want to ask. So that is all the boon he asked for. So, he was allowed to ask all his questions. And so Janak was blessed with Kama Prashna by the sage Yagnavalkya, which means to say Janaka had the freedom to ask questions whenever they occurred. And Yagnavalkya could not refuse to teach the king whenever requested. So this is one dialogue which I thought, was very relevant to our session today, on which we will contemplate. So this is the start of their conversation. King Janak is asking Yagnavalkya, O revered sage, what is the light that illumines a person, the light that awakens and impels him to perform all that he does? A very simple question, no? So Yagnavalkya gave a very straightforward answer, and he said, the sun, O king, for it is the sun alone that is the source of all the light. And it is for this light that man sits, moves about, and does all his work and returns. Right? So even in our normal life, we all wait for the sun to come up. Once the sun comes up, we go about doing all our daily duties. So the sun actually illumines us and gets us going through our day. So Janaka says, that's right, O venerable sage. But when a sun has set, what is it that helps man as light? Friends, so this is an entire conversation, a dialogue, which is there in the 5th chapter of Brindakara Upanishad. So although these questions seem very simple, but when we contemplate, there is a very deep meaning and understanding to it. So when the sun has set, what is it that gives light? So Sage Yagnavalkya says the moon. It is the moon that is the light of the man when the sun is not there. But Janaka is not happy. He contemplates still further. He says, all right, I agree. But when the sun is not there, the moon is also not there, then what is it that guides man as his light? Janaka asks again. Rishi Yagnavalkya replied, when the sun has set and the moon is not there, fire is our light, for by that we sit, work, go out, and come back. So we know that when the sun sets and when the moonlight is also not there, in those times, they used to sit by the fire. What does actually this fire mean to? They say that all the five elements are in this human body. Hmm? So one of the elements is fire. So here he means something deeper. You know, Everything related to this fire element within us too, which can give light to our being. So Janaka says that I am all in agreement with you. But then what is the light when there is no sun, no moon, and no fire? You all can take a moment, maybe close your eyes for a moment and just contemplate. The time when there is the sun and moon are from the outside. The sun is not there, the moon is not there, and even the fire is not there. The sun, the moon can also exist within us. Okay? The sun and moon, the daylight and the night. It is the duality which exists on this planet Earth. This duality in our own beings and this element of fire, because we exist as the five elements: earth, water, fire, ether, and the sky. So, one of our elements is the fire element. So, what is the light when there is no sun, no moon, and no fire? This is like going deeper into our own being and contemplating. Then Rishi Yagnavalkya replies, when the sun has set and the moon is not there, fire is allied with you. We work, we go out, and we come back. And when there is no sun, no moon, and no fire, speech indeed is our light. We can all move in the direction of speech, in the direction of sound. We cannot see our hand in the dark, but we can hear the voice and we can move towards that voice, right? So Janaka was very happy. But again, he wants to go deeper. And he says that, O revered sage, when sun sets, moon is not there, fire is absent, and there is no speech, then what is the light? So now, what Yagnavalkya says, the self indeed is our light. O king, for by that we sit, move, work, go out, and come back. And Janaka was very deeply touched by this, but wanted to know from Yagnavalkya more about the self that he referred to as the light of all lights, the self. And what does he mean by the self? So the Brihandakara Upanishad's higher philosophical understanding is that to obtain true liberation through the divine, that divine truth has to become consciously realized. And This process of realizing this truth involves, through grace, the hearing of this truth, contemplating on what is heard, and holding this truth in one's conscious daily life. So, this divine truth has to be consciously realized. So, then he says the essence of this Upanishad. So, what is this contemplation within? So, it is the inner light within the heart, the knowing one, which sees the world of waking state and the world of dream. And if we can all contemplate on these words, the inner light within the heart. So he calls the heart the knowing one. It is a vision which we acquire through our heart center. So, do we actually need our physical two eyes to see? No. The physical two eyes, are on this earthbound plane to see. We do require eyes to see, but to see from what lies within the heart. It's like lighting up a torch within the heart and which will see the world. It will give you a, sight of a witnessing consciousness which sees the world of waking state and the world of dream. So it's very beautiful, why this Upanishad is called as the Brihandaranyaka Upanishad, the great forest. So we really need a guru who will light us the way and tell us that yes, this is the way, but what we see has to be through one's own heart. One has to light a light within our own hearts, which will guide us through the way. So, like our masters say, that a great teacher, a true guru, will tell you where to go, but he will not tell you what to see. To see, one has to light that torch of light within one's own heart. So he adds that also this inner light is the seer of the deep sleep state as well, where there is no seeing. In deep sleep, one does not know anything, but the self knows the fact that one is not aware of anything as there is no end to its knowing. It is eternal and there is no end to the seer. Very beautifully, it is written that Sage Yajnavalkya says that in deep sleep, one does not know anything, but the self knows the fact that one is not aware of anything as there is no end to its knowing. Knowing is all and it is eternal and there is no end to the seer. Yeah. So here the seer and the seen become one. There is no differentiation between the seer and the seen. So he adds that it is in this space which is within one's heart, the one controller and the master of all is. It is indestructible. That which does not get attached to anything. It is not bound and does not suffer or get injured. It is not affected by good and evil. When one can clearly see this self as God, he has nothing to fear. This is the eternal Brahman, and one who knows this realizes himself as a fearless Brahman. Right? So these are the attributes of the self. This supreme self, this all knowing self which resides within one's heart, which is the one controller and the master of all is. It is indestructible, not attached to anything. These are all attributes of the Brahman. This Brahman which exists within us, this Brahman which occupies this space, this infinite space within our hearts. Our heart may appear as small, but the space within is infinite. And it is this, and we have this master control, as this space is the master of all is. This void which is completely full, this emptiness which is completely full, which resides within our hearts. And when we access this space, we start living and seeing and breathing through this space, this master control. One can clearly see this self as God. There is no differentiation. As I said, no? The seer and the seen become one. At that time, there is no fear. And this is the eternal Brahman. And one who knows this realizes himself as the fearless Brahman. So beautifully it is described in this Upanishad. A very small, a 5-letter word like light, but it is mentioned with such beautiful insight in the Upanishad. So he adds more. These are few excerpts from the Upanishad on which I have made the notes. There is a light that shines beyond all things on earth. So, as I am saying this, I will urge all of you to just take a moment and close your eyes and just breathe in these words which are there. There is a light that shines beyond all things on earth, beyond us all, beyond the heavens, beyond the highest, the very highest heavens. This is the radiant light that shines in the heart of man. And the whole universe comes from this higher spirit, Brahman, and will return to the spirit. And the next point that he says is very significant, that we are creatures of will and we are only what we most deeply desire. So this is a point that we must all contemplate, you know. As we know that our conscious mind is hardly 10%, 8% of our conscious, and more than 90% is our subconscious mind, and our deepest desires are lying in this subconscious mind, which makes up all that what we are, all that, whatever our journeys have been till today, up to now, is all lying in this subconscious mind. But we have a very powerful tool, that is our free will. Unlike what we think, that the free will is lacking and we are not in control of our lives, that's not true, because we are all creatures of will, and Whatever and wherever and however we are at this point today in our lives is all because we deeply desired it. So we are creatures of will, and we are only what we most deeply desire. What we need to do is to light up this light, within our hearts and go within. It's like lighting up a torch. You go through this deep tunnel inside, and we light up our torch, and we want to read what all is written on the walls of this tunnel, and all the writings will become clear. If we wish to magnify it in the eye of the mind, we know that, what script have we written for ourselves. So it is our will and our deepest desire in this life that shape the life to come. So somewhere our scripts also lie here, but we need to turn on the light. And when we work on ourselves, we wish to light up those dark areas of our life. It gives us a tool to work on ourselves. That tool is awareness. And how we merge this awareness with this universal awareness, this torch, this light, when we merge with the light of all that is, this light of creation, we know that we are just beautiful, beautiful. It's like we are petals of this huge, massive lotus which is there of creation. We are all petals of that, you know, and we can really read ourselves. What has been there in our script, what we choose to erase from our script, what we need to rewrite. We all can rewrite our scripts. The only thing is to see something, we need to have a light. We need to light up our path. We need to light up this forest of our being, which is there. There is a forest of wisdom, a complete forest of wisdom which is available to us. How, in the presence of a master, in the presence of a guru, who shows us, who guides us on our path, we can walk this path, this beautifully lit path, and we see that what to unlearn and what we have to learn again. And to learn, there is no better place to go than whatever is written in our ancient books, the Upanishads. All our answers are lying there. So, in silence, we must direct our deepest desires with prayers, faith, and vision to the spirit Brahman to realize ourselves. So, it is very important that we know that how to pray, when to pray, what words we use in our prayers, what paths we choose. We can always choose to be wherever we wish to be in the highest and best way. The highest and the best way is the way of God, and God is correct in every way. So we can always choose to be there with high in the highest and the best way. And we can really open up our hearts. Opening our hearts, opens us to the light which shines within and to grace. We can open ourselves to grace. We can create a deserving for ourselves to grace, because grace is unbounded, abundantly available to all. We just have to open ourselves. And to open ourselves, we need to light up that light which lies within us. It's like lighting up every corner. We know that one single candle can light up an entirely dark room. That's the power of a single candle. So we can light up this. That's the entire significance of Diwali. It is Amavasya that day, and we choose to light up everything. And we do Lakshmi Puja to invite that abundance. Once we light up, we invite abundance in our life. So it is a choice, it is a free will that we have. So Janak is very deeply touched by this, and he wants to know more from Yajnavalkya, more about the self that he referred to as light of all lights. So, we actually have to look at ourselves with this magnifying glass. We only magnify our problems, but we do not magnify the wisdom which lies within us, the knowledge which lies within us. We don't magnify the free will that we have. It is human nature to magnify all that has not served us. It is in our comfort zone to always follow a known path that we traverse again and again and again because we have got used to traveling through that path. But we are not willing to enter into this forest of wisdom. Take the hand of our masters which are always available to us. One beautiful thing which is mentioned in the Brandakara Upanishad is he says that from from the void, this void is the Brahman. This void is all the wisdom. Nothingness is everything. From this nothingness, everything comes. So these rishis like Yagnavalka and all the great rishis who are there, who are very instrumental in reaching the Upanishad knowledge to us. They are instruments. The rishis are the instruments and the gurus who give this knowing which is there, you know, to us. We, as Janaka keeps asking questions to sages, you know, for us today, all this is available to us. you know so all the masters are available to us. We have living masters, wonderful masters, and we can actually hold their hands, and they help us, in a non-judgmental way. We can take this magnifying glass and have a good look within, and we can know the essence of being, the essence of Brahman, which is there, with the help of a master. This makes our journey uneventful, it makes it easy, and we are showered with grace. This is grace, to have your master guide you, lead you through this forest. Is grace itself. Yeah. So Sage Yagnavalka adds about these few points on the self. These are attributes of the self. The self is the pure awareness that shines as the light within the heart, surrounded by the senses. It is the self that is one with the soul reality, the Brahman. The self is free from desire, from evil, and from fear. The man who is in union with the self sees without seeing, smells without smelling, tastes without tasting, speaks without speaking, hears without hearing, touches without touching, thinks without thinking, knows without knowing. For there is nothing separate from him. So beautifully, it is described. Once, and when the state, we all can achieve the state, and very frequently we do achieve the state in the state of meditation. So in meditation, we get a taste of this union with the self, which sees without seeing. We really need our two eyes, two physical eyes to see? No. Do we really need our sense organ, the nose, the tongue, to speak, to taste, our ears to hear, and our thoughts, thinks without thinking and knows without knowing? So, what is this knowing? This knowing is all that wisdom which is available, the Brahman, the true knowledge, the true wisdom, the true essence of the creator of all that is, which makes us one. There is nothing separate from him. All this can be achieved in the state of meditation. But like Brandakar now means the great forest, but if we enter this forest without a guide, hoping that we will recognize what we need and what to see, we will travel in circles for some time. We may arrive at our destination, but it will take time. So, our true guides are our masters, our books, our Upanishads, our Vedas, which are our true guides, who will, delete this separateness from us, you know, and we can live in this constant state of knowing. So the state of not having another is the state of unity. One without a second, and that is the world of Brahman. This is the supreme goal of life, the supreme treasure, and the supreme joy. So the state of not having another is the state of unity, of being one. So this is, it cannot be described in words because this is very experiential. And we all can experience this in meditation. You know. And once we know that we enter this forest with a guide, we know that there also we have a free will to attain that liberation. And once we consciously realize the divine truth, we know that, whether it is we want a rebirth experience or a liberation from the material world. We have a choice. We have a free will. So Yagnavalkya adds on the self. He's telling King Janaka that the self that dwells in our hearts is the self that can only be realized in the silence of understanding that we are but spirit, and that our minds and hearts must be truthful and pure. Finding beyond words, joy is the essence of our being. So these are some beautiful words which are there in the Upanishad about the self. He says that the self dwelling in our hearts is smaller than a grain of rice, smaller than a grain of barley, smaller than a grain of millet, smaller even than the kernel of a grain of a millet. But it is greater than the earth, greater than the sky, greater than heaven. This self, who gives rise to all works, desires, odors, tastes, and who embraces the whole universe, who is beyond words, who is pure joy, and who is always in your heart, is the higher spirit, Brahman. How it is even smaller than the kernel of a grain of millet, but it is magnanimous. It encompasses the whole universe. It is greater than the earth, sky, heaven. It is the one who has given rise to all this work, desire, odor, taste, who is beyond words, and who is pure joy. And then what he adds is, when my ego dies and finds its restful place, I will find him. So, this line itself is self explanatory. When my ego dies and finds its restful place, I will find him. So, we all have to light, that torch deep down in that place in our hearts, and then find out where is the ego and put that ego into its restful place, put it to rest. And it is so beautiful. The whole line is like having a witnessing consciousness. I really put a light on my forehead and look out. It is like looking out for something and just putting it at the right place. And what actually happens is I find that place of pure joy within. And that pure joy is actually always there, but somewhere it is shut in one corner of my heart and I can't see it, I can't access it because there are so many things which mask it. But the day I realize who I am, that I am pure joy is me, everything is me, so I have to find that small corner within. I have to light up that which which will fill me completely with this light of joy, and which is actually me. This higher spirit is actually me, and this higher spirit is Brahman itself. So that happens when I put my ego to rest. So we should consider that in the inner world, Brahman is consciousness, and in the outer world, Brahman is space. So this is mentioned in the Chandogya Upanishad. In the inner world, Brahman is consciousness, and in the outer world, Brahman is space. This consciousness, which is the Brahman inside, there are no words to describe it. Pure joy is the closest that I can feel, which coincides with this, pure joy. There is a difference between happiness and joy. Joy is very experiential. I can feel happy, with a reason, but joy is pure and it emanates from the heart. And joy lights you up. Joy has a light, you know. It shines, joy shines, and joy lights up all the cells of your body, and joy smiles, and your entire being is smiling and shining. I think that's a beautiful description about joy. Hmm. So, so the most important inner light, we come back to our topic of the day. The most important inner light is the light of consciousness. Yeah, so where we started from, the light within. So this light within is the light of consciousness, which the Upanishads call our true self, our most authentic self. I think being our most authentic self will help us, light up that light within our hearts. This light which will help us to read the script on this tunnel in which we walk. Once we choose as warriors, as soldiers, it requires a lot of courage to walk through this tunnel, to choose to light up our whole being, to choose to unlearn, to choose to to have some new downloads for ourselves, which really light up our whole being, you know. So we should live, we can live, it is possible to live in our most authentic self, So we can choose that whatever choices we have made up to today, which do not resonate with our own authenticity, we can choose to unlearn and just be. It is like love is good, loving is better, but being love is the best. Being love, it is actually the closest to pure joy. It is the closest to this consciousness within the Brahman, our true self, our whole authentic self, where we like to witness first ourselves, where which gives us, it diminishes ego little by little by little, putting it to rest, so that it's no longer there. It's no longer, present in this realm of our heart being, which lights up this light of Brahman. So even though we experience consciousness all the time, it is very difficult to understand its real nature. But with a master, with a guru lighting up our path, it is possible that we are able to, you know, light up this light of consciousness within. Hmm? So, so this was our presentation. We can have a small meditation, you know, we can all just take a moment, take a good place to sit and just focus on your breath and just take some few deep breaths within as I guide you to a small meditation, keeping the topic for today in mind, the light within. Yeah. Just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath within.
Do you know what spikes your sugar level?
Just pay attention to this beautiful moment. Some of us must be witnessing sunset outside. Take a deep breath. As we breathe, just put your entire focus at the center of your heart. Just imagine a great forest at this heart center, a huge forest, and there is a road which leads you within this beautiful forest. As you enter into this forest, you will see that it is dark. The road is not very clear, and there are many paths, but you don't know which path to take. Take a moment, just align to your breath. As we align to our breath, we remember that we have a free will. All our guides, all our masters are available to us. As you wait there, you delve deep into your remembrance. You remember your masters. There is a master waiting for you to take you through this forest. This forest, which is a forest of wisdom. Allow yourself to hold the hand of this great master, the supreme being who is there present, who lights up with his own light this path of this forest where you enter. As you walk hand in hand with this great master, the supreme being, your path entirely lit. The road lights up. The light shines on all the trees. On your path, on this path, you start to see, you observe the road ahead you. You are able to see where there are stones, there are pebbles, where the road is uneven, where the road is safe. You're able to see the trees. You're able to see the animals, the birds resting on the trees. You see the animals. The home is the forest. Ask yourself, what are these pebbles? What are these stones? What is this uneven path? What are the trees? Who are the animals? What am I feeling? You can look up at the face of this divine master, the divine presence, the guiding light, bestows the knowing in this sacred space. You start to see what is not seen. You start to hear what is not heard. You start to smell what is not smelled. You start to feel. You begin to know as the light shines forth. You start walking, assured that the divine light will show you the path, will show you where to tread, will open up the entire road for you. Just keep walking along this path. Just put all your attention on your heart. As you breathe, as your heart softens, as the way appears, as the light shines on the way, you tread step by step, each step more confident, each step more aware, each step you are sure of what you see, each step just pushing away this curtain of darkness, each step lighting up each cell of your body, each step you let this vibration lit up your entire body. Each step makes you see more. Each step fills your entire being with joy. Each step adds more laughter, more kindness, more empathy in your being. Each step helps you to see what you have to unlearn. Each step removes this curtain which stops you from being your most authentic self. Each step makes you shine, reflect this divine light of your master, your guide, the supreme being. Just allow yourself, give yourself permission to breathe in this light, this aura of this divine being. As we walk through this path, as we become more aware of this light, as we hold the hand of our Master, our guide, in whose light we walk through this forest of wisdom, this supreme knowledge which is available to us, we remember that whenever we want, we wish, we call upon our masters, our guides who are always available to us. We choose to remember all the wisdom which is available to us. We choose to remember that the path to joy is through this path in the heart, the doorway, opening the doorway of our hearts, opens up this path to joy. The light starts to shine. As we breathe, we can choose to move this light to all parts of our body. We can use this beautiful light to heal our bodies. We can choose to shine this light on our minds, to dispel the darkness which lies there. This light, which is a healing light for our bodies and for our entire beings. We can choose to remember this beautiful forest of wisdom, which is forever available to us. As we breathe, the entire forest becomes more and more luminous. As you start going deeper into the forest, it becomes more and more illuminated. This light shines tenfold, hundredfold, and a thousandfold. In this light, become one with your masters, with your guides, with the Supreme Being. You become one with this light which is all pervading, which holds the entire universe. At this point of time, you do not feel your body anymore. You are absolutely one with this light. Just breathe in this light. This emptiness which is full, this magnificent light which is all knowing. As you breathe in this light, and this light shines in every cell of the body, you can choose to feel this light starting from your feet. Just move your toes a little. Let this light move up through your feet, through your legs, through your knees, through your thighs, through your upper body, through your shoulders, through your hands, through your face, your neck, your head, your scalp. As this light moves over your head, it lights up as a torch, shining on you. Just take this entire light, imagine it in a ball of radiant, beautiful, iridescent white light. Bring this ball of light to your heart center and keep it there. This beautiful ball of iridescent white light. And slowly and slowly, you can move your body. Open your eyes. Take a deep breath. Come back to this present moment. Take a deep breath. Choose to come back to this present moment. Take a deep breath. Choose to come back at this present moment. Dear friends, we will go back to this prayer which was there in, in this Upanishad. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotigamaya, Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Lord, lead me from darkness to this light. So just breathe in all this wisdom from this Upanishad today, and the light that is all within. we have to remember this light that is within us. And this light can act as a torch to actually dispel all the darkness which is within us. The shadow self, which we do not acknowledge as our own. Once we start acknowledging this shadow self as our own, that is the death of our ego, which is mentioned in this Upanishad. And this death of our ego reveals the Brahman to us. Right? So that's all for this session today, friends. Thank you for joining in this beautiful session. Thank you so much. I have immense gratitude to our masters, Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi. Thank you for giving us this platform to share and learn. I thank them for being this guiding light to all of us, to show us our way, so that we become better and better versions of ourselves each day. And thank you, Nilimaji. Thank you, entire QLU team. Thank you so much for this beautiful endeavor. They work selflessly for all of us so that we learn, we share from these sessions. Thank you so much, friends. Till we meet again. Thank you, Abhinanji. Thank you so much. And, today before we go to sleep, we can just read some excerpts from this. It's a beautiful Upanishad, and there are a lot of dialogues between different sages. You Predominantly Yajnavalkya, his wife, and King Janaka. We can read about it before we go to sleep, so we can contemplate on all that we have heard and shared today. And this meditation, where we choose to remember that this light is always available to us to shine on us. Thank you so much, friends. Have a great week ahead. Thank you.
Hi, Goodiji. Please
Yes.
announce Soul Coach.
Yes. So we have this, I think the Telugu Soul Coach just got over, and we have the English Soul Coach coming up from 2nd December to 12th December. Kindly register yourself. It's a beautiful, beautiful program, which is a conglomeration of all the wisdom of QLU, which is taught, and there are 18 schools of wisdom which will be covered in a span of 2 years of 10 days each. It spans over 10 days. It's a residential program, and kindly register yourself. The links are available at QLU Global website. The Hindi Soul Coach training program will be carried on in the month of February. All the information is available on the QLU Global website. So, and I myself have also attended this program. It's one of the best programs, and there's lots and lots to learn, and wonderful masters and wonderful teachers who teach us during this program. So kindly share this with your friends and relatives, and it's a must-do program for all. So please go on the QLU Global website, www.qluglobal.org, and awake your wisdom within. Yeah. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, Sai, for being wonderful host to us.
Thank you so much. Uh, can I close?
Yes, we close for the day. Thank you. Thank